And this is where this really cool day started. I am at the Wazuka Microcar Museum in Wakayama, and we're just about to find out something about a very special niche in the whole automotive culture here in Japan. Let's go inside and take a look. This is it. This is probably one of the most unique collections you're ever going to come across in Japan. We're going to find out all about microcar history and why the man behind this museum, Hasegawa-san, is into it, and basically enjoy discovering new things about another special niche of car culture here in Japan. And the best thing is, we're going to get to ride in one of these cars.
Microcars Museum Wazuka の長谷川です。よろしくお願いします。
なんかちょっとだけ、
はい、
マイクロカーの歴史は、聞きたい。
はい。日本で80年代ぐらいに一気に流行っていろんな会社がいろんな形で売り出したもので、その後に免許の法改正があったりとかで一気に数が少なくなってもうほぼ消滅した乗り物ですね、マイクロカーは。
本当に軽カーは違うのクラスですね。
そうですね、はい。軽自動車よりもっと小さい車ですね。
Right, and here we are in this really special place. Like, I have never seen anything like this in Japan. I've come across some microcars in Tokyo, never really understood what they were all about. I did know that Mitsuoka were involved at some point or another, and that's pretty much how they got their start in the whole, manufacturing of the cars. And this is it. This is the very first Mitsuoka model microcar. This is actually not what it looked like from factory. It was kind of available without doors. The doors were an option. But the guys here at the museum have actually turned it into sort of a bus train replica, actually more of a train than a bus, kind of even having the Sub Express to Uji sign in the front. Super, super cool. And I think it kind of sums up already what this place is all about. It's basically taking that microcar culture, customizing it, and just enjoying, the feel of a different era. You can see all these cars have very specific kind of liveries. This one, for example, is running the Yamazaki Pan delivery van coloring. This one has national Panasonic color television, I guess, driving ad here, which reflects this rusty color advertisement here that Hasegawa-san has actually managed to find from back probably in the late 70s or even 60s. And he's replicated this whole thing on his Boo-Boo Mitsuoka here, and really customized it so much, even kind of slamming it to the ground. I actually came across this car years back at Stance Nation, probably the very first one they did in Odaiba in 2017. I do remember taking some pictures of this, 4-speed Hunters, kind of not really understanding what it was all about, but definitely liking it, right down to the Onikan. You can see the scooter wheels are actually kind of tilted inwards with that custom suspension setup. Slammed to the ground. Let's take a look inside. You can see the color television mascot there. So pretty cool. You get one door that allows you access to the center driving position. I will definitely have to try and get in there later. You've got a nice door pocket to hold all your bits and pieces. Steering wheel. Some of these are actually running kind of like scooter handlebars. And you got all the Honda speedometer and switchgear. And the issue with this one is that it's sitting so low that not enough air is circulating around the air-cooled cylinder. So Hasegawa-san has actually added 2 PC fans there that he powers with this Anker battery pack to allow a little bit of more air to kind of pass through the finned head on the mono cylinder here at the back. Very cool model here, but let's keep going and take a look at the other cars here. Hey, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to remind you guys that still 77% of people that tune into Dino DC aren't subscribed yet. It would really help us tremendously if you hit subscribe. Helps us bring us more content from Japan. With that said, it's back over to the video.日本は初めて作ったのメーカーは誰ですか？
三岡になりますね。三岡自動車ですね。はい。
何年始まった？何年まで作った？
おそらく78年から1985年ぐらいですかね。はい。
それでみんな乗る
そうですね。はい。まあ、バーハンドルのミニマイクロカーだったり、丸ハンドルだったりいろんなものができてて。
それでなんで89年はストップした？
まあ免許の法改正があって、それまでは原付バイクの免許で乗れたんですけど、そこから法律が変わって自動車免許がいるようになって、まあちょっと乗るのにハードルが高くなって、それで一気に衰退してなくなったっていう乗り物ですね。はい。
And we should probably talk about these two models that you will see as soon as you come into the museum. These are actually Italian microcars from Casalini. This is the sulky here. This is a steel-bodied version of a microcar, whether this kind of more lifted, bigger version is FRP, just like all the Mitsuokas and Japanese brands that came after. These were kind of around before the whole Japanese microcar scene began in 1978 with Mitsuoka building the very first one, the Bubu 50, Shuttle 50. We kind of transition, the Japanese really embraced these and kind of created a wide variety of them, including this one here, which has been custom rebodied to look like an old school Suzuki Jimny. So yeah, again, what makes the sulky really special is the fact that it was steel-bodied, as you can see from all the rust here. Slightly bigger than the Japanese microcars with a big bench seat there, probably enough space for two people, center driving position, one wheel at the front. And as we will see, we have been joined by another microcar owner who's brought his own sulky outside. And that one is completely customized. It runs just the stock body and is being basically fitted on a custom chassis, custom driveline. And we'll have to have a look because it's something really cool that we'll be taking out along with a couple of more of these microcars today. So the cool thing about these tiny little cars is the fact that they're so light. You can just come here and pull them out with one hand. I just want to move the Jimny forward a little bit. I call it Jimny, but of course it's not a Jimny. And as you can see, it's a three-wheeler with one wheel at the back. So like all of the Japanese microcars, they were all based on scooters. So kind of think of it as adding a canopy over a sidecar to a scooter, and then you're kind of close to what these actually are. Of course, they are rear-wheel drive, and you can see how what they probably ended up doing on this particular one is cutting or modifying the front side of the chassis to kind of be able to place the body on top. You got handlebar steering, just like the Honda scooter they're based on. And to really understand what the base of these cars really look like, they actually have a Honda Karen here, a Kyusha scooter from back in early 80s that most of the Mitsuoka cars were based on. And if we go over here and take a look at the profile of the Yamazaki bread delivery thing, you can see how there is one hiding under here. We can get a nice profile look at the train-inspired Mitsuoka, and we can even open the door. Can we? Yeah. And take a look inside, because you can really see how There is a scooter right underneath there, kind of molded around the handlebars and the saddle. And this one even has a bit of loading space. You can put some stuff in the back here. And of course, the train handle. This is so cool and unique. And the lightweight door. All right, so like I mentioned, I wanted to show you guys what has shown up here. Look at this thing. So like I was saying, it's a sulky-based, completely customized microcar sitting literally an inch off the ground. They've kind of embraced the patina here with the oxidation, rust. And here is that custom chassis that was created to obviously kind of manage and handle the entire driveline here. This is based around a Japanese Honda delivery bike, the ones that have the 3 wheels and tilt so that the food that gets stored in the back doesn't spill over. And there's this kind of square steel frame that's been roughly welded together to create a mounting point for the body and a little floor and a chair for the driver. There is literally no chance in hell that I'm going to fit in this. Maybe half of my backside can fit there, but interesting creation. And I do love the approach to creating a left-hand drive version of one. I think the owner was saying that since it's an Italian car, he wanted to create the import car look by being able to sit on the left side of the car and drive this thing. But I think it will really make sense once we get driving and take these things out on the road.なんで長谷川さんマイクロカー好きですか？
まあやっぱり手軽に乗れて、形も可愛くて、それが一番ですよね。自分も楽しくて見てる人も楽しいっていう乗り物かなと思うんで、はい。
今何台持ってるミュージアムで？
今9台ですね。
9台。
はい。
イタリアメカもあるね。
そうですね。
びっくりした。
外国のものも一応置いてて、マイクロカーっていろいろ他に種類がいっぱいあるんですけど、その中でも状態が良くて珍しいものだけをここに集めてるっていう感じですね。
ヨーロッパのメーカーはもうちょっと前始まったですね。
そうですね。ちょっと日本よりちょっと早いですね。
それ全部 50cc の
そうですね。はい。
スクーターベースの。
そうですね。エンジンは基本 50cc。はい。
今日本は何台ありますか？大体。
実動で動いてるものはかなり少ないと思いますね。数えたことはないですけど、本当に種類にもよりますけど、どうですかね。100台とかそれぐらいだと思いますけどね。
すごい少ないね。
そうですね。もう動いてない放置車両はもっとあると思うんですけど、やっぱり動く状態のものっていうのがやっぱり少ないですね。
時々ミーティングやりますか？
そうですね。はい。年に1回とかやったり、この和歌山でやったりしてますね。
一番好きのマイクロカーは？
やっぱりこの三岡のブブ501っていうのが一番。
あれ初めてのモデルですか？
初めてのモデルはこっちですね。502、この電車の形をイメージして作っているもの。
Right, so I think I'm going to head back inside because there is a second floor to the museum here, and it's actually a coffee shop area where there's a lot of memorabilia, and I think I'm going to get lost in some Showa era goodness. So let's go upstairs and take a look. All right, so we'll walk back here. But actually, you know, before I go upstairs, let's take a look at these other two Mitsuoka models. I think at least this one is a Mitsuoka because it has the Bubu Shuttle 50. This is a really, really wide one. It's probably the widest one. And that's because it's actually designed to be driven by people, disabled people in wheelchair. So there's actually a back, I'll move it forward later, but there's a back hatch that swings down and allows the ramps to be folded flat and the wheelchair to kind of wheel back out of it. And of course, same as every other one, based around the scooter with a handlebars to do the steering. And over here we have the footwork liveried one, probably the narrower version of the mole here. Look at the difference between these two. All right, with that said, let's go upstairs and take a look at the coffee shop. There's even a little micro bike here. And as you can see, they do get their fair share of visitors that have all signed and left their mark here. And speaking of Mark, there's one from Mark from Top Gear. Right, let's keep going. And this is the coffee shop area. Very simple. But like I mentioned, there is a lot of goodness to flick through, starting with some really cool old magazines, as well as a book kind of highlighting the mini car history. So I'm going to sit down here and go through some pages with you guys. All right, so I'm just going to start flicking here. You can see how it all starts with kind of like a roundup of all the models that were really important, including the Ligier. This is a European brand, of course, even spawned the Formula One team. And we can go through the various brands from Japan and then the international ones. So this is the Bubu 501 that we saw in the entrance, the slammed one. The Bubu 502, the kind of train bus looking thing. There was a 503 that the museum doesn't have, but it still has that crazy unique design. And you go through other makers like Abbey. I have seen one Abbey somewhere in Tokyo. I do remember the name. Or maybe it was outside Garage TBK. I'll have to review the footage. And of course, like I mentioned downstairs, they're all based around Honda Carl scooters. This is a Alfa Zeddo 104. Look at the size of the wheels on this. Probably my favorite one that I've seen in this book is the Yamaha PTX1. I didn't even know that Yamaha had a go at making microcars. I guess they got so popular in the early 80s. This is from 1983. It was a concept car that came out of the Tokyo Motor Show, so maybe it never even made production, but interesting design, probably one of the cooler ones. So we do get into the international brands next, starting off here with an Italian one, same as the one sitting downstairs next to the Scully. This is the Charlie, and just like all the other microcars, they're based around the custom chassis, three-wheeler for this one, and of course the 50cc engine, which made it easy for anybody to drive over the age of 14 in Italy, I guess, because that's when you were able to get into a scooter. We have the Ligier here, getting into more kind of Vespa-looking things, and it just progresses through history. This actually reminds me of a Fiat Panda, or even a Fiat 500, 600. We get right into what kind of is the most popular microcar of them all, the Vespa-based Piaggio Ape, the P50, which of course came in a variety of designs, probably the pickup version being the most popular, and then the kind of like more van approach being something that it was a little bit rarer. But in Italy, guys that would sell vegetables would be using these on the side of the road to sell straight from the farms. But what an amazing history, and we're not even done here because there's so much Showa era goodness to go through. Like, they've managed to get so many cool things. Look at these stickers, 20 yen each. There's even a Nintendo Game & Watch, an old Tommy Cat and Catch. That's so cool. But this cabinet has so much goodness and all the history you would ever need to see from back in those days. There's even an old magazine from the early 80s all about sound, basically audio installs, and one of them, look at these ads. One of them is about a microcar. Let's see if I can find it. Obviously people were very much into their CB radio setups back then. And here's a Boo 501 with an audio system. You can see it's got head unit and 2 speakers in the back, and a very appropriate model for 1983. And Hasegawa has also made a little micro model of his microcar that we saw downstairs. So much goodness here, and more books about the microcar boom that happened from 78 onwards, right down to little plastic models of them. This is the William Lambretta City 125cc engine, so this would be probably a little bit harder to use in Japan. That's pretty much why the whole microcar thing ended up kind of dying off. Basically, they were revising regulations at the time and decided that while the scooter license thing worked, the vehicles are actually starting to become too wide, too big, and took up more space than actual 50cc scooters. So they made a regulation that you needed a full car driver's license to be able to drive them, pretty much ending the popularity because people would not be able to get into those cars cheaply enough anymore. Which is a sad thing, but luckily guys like Hasegawa-san and all his friends that are into it are able to keep this culture alive in such a cool way, even creating a museum and a chill out place like this coffee shop to kind of host meets, gatherings, and drives throughout the year. All right, we're getting the cars ready now to take out, get them warmed up properly, go deliver some Yamazaki bread. Wow, look at the steering on this. This is sick. And the Shakotan one here, the Boo. Right, next up we gotta get the Jimny out because that will be my ride. It is the biggest one, the widest. I can get my fat ass to fit properly. So we're gonna head out for a ride and maybe drive it to the beach, maybe drive these cars to the beach today, and then we're gonna have a chat with the owner of the slammed sulky that we took a look at. All right, let's get going in this thing. Right, release the brake, ease it forward. Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god, this is hilarious. What the hell? Got a wiper here as well. Oh my god, that's so sketchy. Alright, I better wait for these guys. Alright, so I'm following Hasegawa-san. Oh man, I gotta get one of these. This is sick. Project car has to be one of these. No joke. Enjoying the fresh air. A little speedometer here. Oh my god, this is so much fun. So Hasegawa was actually saying, once you drive one and ride in one, you understand why it's so special and people actually get into these. What, 30 seconds in, I totally get it. Oh my god, gotta get one of these. Maybe work on the actual sitting position, create more space. But I actually like the one in front. That's probably my favorite one. Proper like bubble car feel about it. We got the wiper here. hit by an SUV, one of these things. That's it. This is so cool. Oh my god. I think I'm bottoming out the suspension at the back. The 0.1 ton of ballast is not really working out today. Well, it's struggling. There it goes. And the smell of two-stroke, the premix scent, police car, totally legal, no problem. Massive truck going by. Oh my god. Should probably stop at a convenience store for a little break. This is so cool. Oh my god, here we go. Looks like one of these. It's so small. You can really see the scooter base underneath on this one. Oh my god. I think we're missing one. This is my choice of wheels for the day. It's so cool. I don't know how the hell Alec got into that. And we're still missing this sulky, which will be arriving shortly, I guess. Man, what a lineup today. This is really the most interesting time I've ever spent on wheels in my entire life. All right, we have the final addition to the group. It's so low. Look how fast he's coming in. That's so ridiculous. How he fits in that thing is beyond me. This is the coolest thing I've ever done with cars. It's not even cars. Oh my god. I need to get one. I was just talking to Hasegawa-san. You don't even need a shaken for these, so you can customize as much as you want. And it'll always be legal. So, man, I'm gonna start checking Yahoo Auction soon. Alright, second stop in our tour of this really cool seaside town in Wakayama with these microcars. We ended up at what looks like a theme park, kind of styled after some Italian old school town, castle. Really cool place to be stopping here. We're on our way to the beach, so we are actually going to end up at the beach at one point and basically trying to alternate filming between the 4 cars we have out today. I'm just blown away how much fun this is. I totally get it. Like, you have to try this to really understand why people actually get into these things. Aside from the looks, for me, are just amazing. Like the kind of link to the past, the golden era of Japan, the Showa era. It just, I don't know, it just has a special link to me. So I love seeing stuff like this, but I even like it more when I'm inside driving it. It's been one of the most craziest experiences since I've started YouTube. So I hope that comes across, because I don't know what else to say. It's so different, unique, and cool to be doing something like this. that we're going to have a little chat with the owner of this custom sulky because I really want to understand how he kind of went about to modify the whole thing. So, じゃあお願いします。
お願いします。
なんかちょっとだけ車
はい。まあ別に大した車ではないですが、
ちょっとだけなんか、
はい、
シャシとベースエンジンとなんかドライブユニット。
ボディは1970年のカサリニサルキそのままです。
はい、
で、部品取りされた車両を、まあ床も全部錆びて穴が開いてしまってたので、はい、捨てられる運命やったんですけど、まあそれをせっかくなので走らせようということで、ちょっとフレームだけ作って、
で全部自分した。
あ、そうですね。シャシはフレームは僕が作りました。で、エンジンはホンダのジャイロキャノピーっていう、
デリバリーバイクみたいな。
そうデリバリー、そのエンジンを使ってます。はい。そんな感じの車両です。
あれも 50cc。
50cc です。はい。
あれなんかティルトできる？
チルトはできないです。で少しワイドトレッドにして、はい。
なんかステアリングすごい面白い。チェーンドライブ。
チェーンドライブになってて、ね、ステアリングのところはボックスは三岡自動車さんの。
三岡自動車。
はい。ここのボックスは三岡自動車さんのブブライムっていう車両があるんですけど、それのギアボックスを使って、でさらにチェーンでもう一回減速させて2回比率を変えてます。
だから左ハンドルになった。
そうなんですよ。僕のこだわりで。
センターから左。面白い。
外国車は左ハンドルっていうこの日本の文化があるんで。
前のホイールとサスペンションは全部カスタム？
そうですね。もうフロントはもう全部もうほぼリジットです。
リジット。
はい。リアは一応サスペンションつけましたけど、僕が乗るとほぼリジット状態になってしまいます。
すごい。
はい。だから乗り心地は悪いです。
なんか一番面白いシートはこれどこから？
これもフレームの上にビスで留めてるだけで。
なんか学校なんか中学校っぽい。
そうなんかね公園かなんかの。
公園の
椅子を1個もらって。
面白い。本当にありがとうございます。
いやこちらこそありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
はい、またぜひお会いしましょう。ありがとうございます。
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's been an insanely fun day spending some time with these amazing microcars. A massive thank you to Hasegawa-san for allowing me to sample and really understand what these cars are all about. I totally get it why people get into these, and I'm secretly already thinking about doing a project maybe in the future, finding one of these and having a bit of fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check back soon for more, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really does help us bring a lot more coverage from Japan.